a powerful, powerful step, and I say it every time I talk about the steps, that I learn new stuff every time I go through the step. And a lot of people look at me and they don't believe it, but that only tells me that you're not working the steps. Okay? Yes, not really. Okay? And step 10 is a really powerful one, and we continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. And this is a maintenance step. Everybody say maintenance. Okay? Because we anything that you don't maintain, what happens to it? It falls apart. It messes up. Anybody here ever have to do any mechanic work on a vehicle? And do you know what happens if you never do any mechanical work on a vehicle? Or on a house? How about that, Troy? On a house, piece of property, you know? And it's because in our world everything degenerates. Okay, and so you have to continue working on it. And we have to continue working on ourselves. And sometimes we think, like Kim says, sometimes we think, well, I got this. Well, you do an inventory, you'll find out you don't. No, you don't. You're maybe better than you used to be, but you're not as good as you need to be, right? Right? Or that you want to be. And so this is a maintenance step. And it's doing maintenance, and I really want to comment on what Troy said here. Is one of the things that we need to maintain is when we're doing that self-inventory, you know, have I forgiven myself? See, the worst thing that we can do is to condemn, beat up, destroy, tear ourselves apart because we messed up, made a mistake, used, relapsed, acted out, whatever it is. Because the fact of it is, beating ourselves up, I know it sounds totally natural to do that because we want to change, right? Right? You want to change. And we believe, and research that I have discovered says that everybody by the age of 5 has been taught this worldwide, that if you want to do better, what you have to do is punish yourself to make yourself better. Now the question is, how's that worked out for you? Has it really worked for anybody? Now, I've had people argue with me saying that it helped them, and I said, really? Let's think about it. How much has it helped? How much have you detracted from your life, and how much benefit did it really give you? Because, see, the principle is, if you beat up on yourself for your mistake, what you're doing with good intentions and with a good heart, because you do want to change, but what you're doing is you're using a flawed method. You're beating yourself up for making a mistake, and the reason why you're doing that is to not make that mistake anymore, right? But the question is, whatever you practice, that's what becomes permanent in your life. And if you're practicing beating yourself up for a mistake, you're going over the mistake over and over in your mind, right? And beating yourself up. So what are you doing? You're practicing the mistake. So when you come to the crossroads of an action or decision, you reach into your power bag for what you've practiced the most, and what do you pull out? Well, you practice that mistake again. So you automatically go down the same path again, and you do it better this time. Because you practiced the mistake, right? You trained yourself. You eliminated all the other positive choices. Now, you want to go, you want to do what's right, but you practiced what was wrong, and so you reinforced what you didn't want to do. Now, doesn't that make sense? Not very much. So what do we have to do? We need to practice what we want. And one of the best things that we can do, I'm slowing down on purpose, one of the best things that we can do is to forgive ourselves and let it go and then see what you do want to do. How's that? Now, I don't have to read the question that I was going to read because Kim already read it, and so you're welcome. And so I'm just going to go to my number one question. Are you ready for? Doesn't everybody love questions? Yes. Okay. And I'm sure we have prizes, but I don't know what they are yet. And so, just kidding about that. And so, here's number one question. What is the number one thing a person needs to receive or do to have or find recovery? Who said that? Was it Monica? I know it was an M. Monica. Love. That's good. That's good. So they need to receive. Is that what you're saying? Love? You want to take the mic and talk about that? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good, Monica. And this is your first time here, right, Monica? Okay. Everybody say hi, Monica. We're glad you're here, Monica. Everybody say, we're glad you're here, Monica. You're smart, Monica. You can say that too. See how that works out? So that's good. Anybody else have a, well, I was going to say a better answer, but I don't know that there's a better answer than that, right? Yes. Well, that would be a form of loving yourself, right? Do what? I couldn't hear you. Have to want to? Have to want to what? I missed it, Joe. Oh, you have to want to do better or to do, that's good. Yes, if you don't want to, you're going to continue. You'll do some other stuff that you want to, which is in a different direction, right? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Something else. Honesty, that's good. I missed it. Believe, Rochelle. Believe in yourself. That's good. And basically, Kim was kind of, she didn't use that word, but she was inferring that that's what we need to do, right? So that's good. It was a D. Your name started with a D. Dora, okay. God. What does that mean? Higher power, God, something bigger than yourself. Because when we just believed in ourselves, how did that work out for us? Maybe we ought to make it personal. How did that work out for you? That's good. Was it Dorsey? Dora. See, I told you I'm slow. I have to practice. See, you have to practice what you want. Dora. So. Say Dora. I keep saying it, Dora. Everybody say hi, Dora. Because this is your first time here, isn't it, Dora? Well, I'm glad you had the courage to speak up. I appreciate that. And that was a pretty smart answer. Don't you guys agree? Tell her she's smart too. We're glad you're here. Next question. How about that? Recovery is not about what you do in good times. Recovery is not about what you do in good times. I haven't got out the rest of it yet. But I will. Recovery is not about what you do in good times, but it's about how you function in the challenge or difficult times. Would you agree with that? I don't know if I should do that or not. So recovery is about how you function or react when things are challenging. Anybody here ever have any challenging times? If you didn't raise your hand, you're a liar. How do you like those apples? Okay? So, because we all have challenging times. but we just don't like to let everybody know about them. Okay, we want to pretend. We want to, fake it like we don't have any problems. But we all have problems, right? We all got them. Do I? And that's part of life, because life is a process, and that process is to refine us and work in us and making those choices. And that doesn't mean that you're necessarily bad, but you're the best that you've ever been. But the fact of it is, you still got some rough edges on you, right? 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 Some of you are rougher than others, right? So, but I'm thankful that God has forgiven us. Hopefully we can forgive each other, and hopefully you can forgive yourself, because that's what God wants. You may. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And what we talk about that from time to time, but tonight I just want, hey, you may not be able to get it all, but the thing of it is, if I can get you to be receptive to a little bit of a new thought, okay, because neuroscience tells us when you're able to accept a new thought, that changes your entire brain. It affects it, okay? And that's good. Because the trouble is, most of us think the old same sick thoughts that we thought yesterday. The stats are that we think 70% to 90% of the same thoughts over and over and over. So getting a new thought in there is really a good thing. Okay? So, let me ask this question. Do you want to have a better life? Yes, 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 yes. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want a better life, right? So the answer is yes. That's good. That's good. So the question is, what do you need to do to have a better life? Thank you very much. What do you need to do? What? Yeah, practice what you want. And we are talking about step 10. I'm giving you a secret here, a clue. This is step 10, a maintenance step. We want a better life. Yes, that'd be good. But step 10 is about inventory, personal inventory, right? Personal inventory. So if you want, well, I used to work in a machine shop, and I was an inspector, and we were instructed to inspect the tools that we did the inspection with. So we had to calibrate is what they call it. We had to calibrate our inspection tools but we had to use the other tools that they kept in the work tool shed because they were calibrated in another way, and they weren't used very much, so they wouldn't get out of calibration. But we had to use those tools to check our tools, so when we check the parts, that we know that we were calibrated. Does that make sense? And so what we have to do is we have to keep ourselves in check. We have to keep calibrating, because we can drift, right? Right? And that's some of what the story of what Kim was saying a while ago, that she was doing great. she's having a little bumpy road. She let go, let's say, let go of the calibration system, and not with a bad intention, but with a good intention. But the fact of it was, because we weren't calibrated anymore, we drifted further and further and further. Do you identify with that story? We only had 2 hands raised. There, oh, we had more, okay. And the rest of you, again, are liars. So, okay, so here we go. So we want a better life, so it's about personal inventory. I'm winding down now. Can you believe this? So, personal inventory. So we have, yeah, no, but you keep it up. You just egg me on. Just come on. And so what we have is we got to admit, with this inventory, and part of what step 10 is about is to, we take this inventory, but then we have to admit what we find. We have to recognize the truth. And recognize the truth, but then we have to admit the truth. Right? Okay, just because I found that my inspection tools were off, okay, they're off. So let's keep on working. No! You recalibrate the tool, right? Right? Isn't that right? You get it? So we recalibrate. And so what we have to do is not only recognize we're wrong, we have to accept or admit the truth. Right? I messed up. That almost sounds like step 1 there, right? I'm powerless. Man, that one slipped up on me. Really? Because you had your eyes closed and you was living in the land of denial. Right? Choosing ways to slip reality. You know what I'm talking about? So what we have to do is we have to admit when we've fallen out of calibration. How about that terminology? We have to admit it, and we have to accept the truth. And boy, sometimes accepting the truth is painful. Right? But knowing the truth, that truth will set you or make you free. Okay? So, I will conclude with a scripture here. How about that? One of my favorite scriptures, and this is out of Jeremiah 6:14, and this is out of the Living Bible, okay? This is the older Living Bible, and it says, "You cannot heal a wound by saying it's not there." Okay? All right? Let me say it again before you ask. Jeremiah 6:14 out of the Living Bible. It's the TLB translation. You cannot heal a wound by saying it's not there. Oftentimes we want to deny. I'm not really out of calibration. But the fact of it is, if I keep using the tools that are not calibrated, we keep going further and further out of calibration, right? Isn't that the truth? Now, should we talk about our life? If we don't take the inventory, if we don't keep pulling ourselves back, if we just pull ourselves back some, maybe you can't bring it all the way back, but just some. Some is better than none, right? Yes. Oh, you want to be perfect? Well, I'm sorry about that. That's not going to happen, right? I got living evidence on that deal, okay? No matter how hard you work, you're not going to hit that mark because that's impossible to hit. But we can get better, right? And that's what it's all about. And when you get better and you make a little bit of progress, you'll feel it inside here. Yeah. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. And that's good. That's good. Can you feel that right now? Yeah, that's good. And we ought to be thankful for that. Yes?